everybody, good morning. We're gonna do some yoga together today, so make sure you have some space to move around. If you have a yoga mat, you can sit on that, but just the floor is okay too. And we'll get started. We're doing an overnight camping themed yoga because it's overnight week. So we'll all get started. I'll move back so you guys can see me. All right. Can everyone hear me okay? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me all right. Okay, perfect. So, we're all gonna start standing up. So everyone can join me standing. And when I think of camping, the first thing I think of is the forest. And I see lots of trees. So we're gonna start out today in tree pose. So you're gonna bring your right foot up and either place it on your calf or place it up on your higher up on your thigh if you want a bit more of a challenge. And your hands are gonna go up above you. They're gonna be your branches. And this is our tree pose. I always think of when I'm walking through the forest, I see so many trees. You can bend your tree to one side. Ooh. Yeah, if you need to put your foot down to balance, that's okay. I need to do that too. Bend your tree to the other side. Maybe you're a windy tree. Now we'll switch feet. So go to your other foot, bring your foot up, put it on your calf or above, up on your thigh is okay too. Put your hands above your head and we'll balance. Maybe we can take a couple deep breaths here. We'll inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Nice work, everybody. So, since we're going camping, now we're in the forest, what do we need to do next? We need to put up our tent. So we're gonna go into downward dog, or today I'm gonna call it our tent pose. So you're gonna put your hands out in front of you, your feet behind you, and you're stretching out your calves, you're stretching out your lower back, and now we're a tent. You can also pedal out your tent if you want. You can move from one foot to the other, bending your knees, and stretching out both of your legs. We'll take a couple breaths here as we put up our tent. Great work, everybody. So now that our tent is up, I don't know about you, but I'm tired. I want to take a rest. So I was thinking, let's go down to our child's pose. So put your knees on the ground, your feet, bottoms of your feet are flat behind you, and you're just going to reach out in front of you. Rest your forehead on the ground. And this is our child's pose. We'll rest after we put our tent up. Great work, everybody. We can come back out of that and sit down on your bum with your legs crossed. So we're in the forest. We put up our tent. What do we need next? We need a fire. So we're gonna do a fire pose. So you're gonna put your right arm out in front of you. You're gonna reach your left arm behind your right arm and try to meet your hands so they're touching. They twist like this. This is also called eagle's pose, but I think it kind of looks like a fire. So this is going to stretch out our shoulders and we'll hold that in front of us. If you're a fire, maybe you wiggle your fingers, let your fire sparks fly. Great work, everybody. Now we'll switch arms to our other arm. So I just did my right arm, so now I'm going to do my left arm. I'm going to shoot my right hand out behind my left arm like this, and I'm going to wrap it around so my hands meet in front of me. And I'll wiggle my fingers for my fire. Well done, everybody. Great work. All right, we have a tent, we have a fire, we're in the forest. You know what else I see a lot when I go camping is mountains. So we'll go up in our mountain pose. That's standing with our feet flat on the ground, right underneath our hips, underneath our shoulders, and you're gonna stand nice and tall. Nice work, everybody. And if we're looking up at the mountain, you know what I see? I see birds. So we're gonna do our bird pose. So for this pose, you're gonna come up onto one foot. So maybe test out your balance. I'm gonna do my right foot first. I'm gonna test my balance with my toe on the ground. When I'm ready, I'll bring my leg up. Now balancing on one foot. We'll stay here for a moment to help get our balance. But if you need to hold onto a chair or maybe onto the wall, that's okay too. All right, now I'm gonna put my arms out to my side like this. These are gonna be my wings. And I'm gonna pick a spot to look at to try to help me balance. I'm gonna try to keep looking at that spot. And slowly, I'm gonna bend this leg just a little bit. And I'm gonna go forward as I stretch out my other leg behind me, and I keep looking forward, and this is my bird pose. So do your best to balance here. It's a little tricky, but now we're flying birds. If that's a little too tricky for you, or if you fall out of it, that's okay. You could stay here, you could go forward just a little bit, or you can take a break and then try again. Great work, everybody. All right, you can come out of that. Let's try it on our other foot. This one's gonna be trickier for me because I'm right-handed. So now I'm on my left foot. I'm gonna bring my right leg up, and I'm gonna start balancing. When I'm ready, I'll lift up my right foot, so I'm just standing on my left foot. And we'll try balancing here. Now, if you just want to stay here in this pose, that's totally okay, or if you need to hold on to the wall or a chair, that's okay too. I'm gonna put my arms out beside me like this. Once again, these are my wings. And when you're ready, pick a spot on the wall to look at. And you can lean forwards, bend your knee just a little bit. And now you're another flying bird. Great work, everybody. Whoop. See, it's a little hard for me too. It's okay if you fall out of it, we just try again, right? Great work, everybody. All right, we can come back to standing. So now that we've set up our campsite, I think we should take a little walk through the forest and see what we can find. So we're gonna walk. And lift your knees. Maybe we're walking over some logs. We have to lift our knees higher up. As we walk through the forest, and oh, what do I see? I see a beach. A lot of the time when I'm camping, I go through the forest and I find a lake with a nice beach there to do some swimming. So we're at the beach. What will we see at the beach? Well, first thing I see is a sand castle. So we're gonna go back into our downward dog and be a sand castle. So this is your feet underneath you again. Your hands out in front of you. We can pedal our legs out if we want to, or we can find some stillness here. And take a few breaths in our downward dog. Catch your breath from walking to the beach. Great work, everybody. We can come out of our downward dog, of our sand castle. And something I like to do when I go camping is go canoeing. I know some of our campers who do our Canark overnight have been canoeing before. And that's one of my favorite things to do. So we're gonna go in our canoe. We're gonna sit on our bum with our knees bent and our feet in front of us. And we're gonna put our arms out to our side. These will be our paddles. And if you feel comfortable, you can stay here, or you can lean back and try lifting your feet off the ground and balancing here in our canoe pose. Maybe you paddle your arms or you wave hi to your friends on either side. But we're in our canoe, paddling through the water. If this gets a little tricky, you can put your feet back down. You can catch your breath, or you can just stay here. Why don't we go back into it and try one more time. Lift our feet back, balancing on our bum. This one's good for your core. All right, great work, everybody. You can shake your legs out, wiggle it out. We're feeling a little tight. All right, now that we have finished our canoeing, I think it's time to head back to camp because the sun is starting to set. So let's walk back from the beach to our camp. We'll march standing. Maybe we need to step over some logs. We gotta lift our knees higher. And oh, while we're walking, I see a frog. So why don't we do our frog pose? This is gonna be a deep squat with your feet as flat on the ground as you can get them. If you have trouble getting that low, you can put your feet out a little further, or you can go on your toes if that's easier. And we'll put our hands out in front of us on the ground, just like a frog. I know I'm not even camping right now, but I went for a walk the other day and I saw a frog when I was walking home on the sidewalk. Nice work, everybody. Well done. All right, we can hop out of our frog pose back to standing, and we'll keep marching back to camp because we want to get there before the sun sets. All right, now we're back at camp and the sun is setting, so we're gonna do our sun salutations. Usually this is a hello to the sun, but today it'll be a goodbye to the sun. So you're gonna stand at the top of your mat, or just wherever on your floor that works. And we're gonna take a deep breath in and raise our hands above our head, stretch them to the sun, to the sky, say bye sun. Or I mean for today, hello sun. Then we're gonna fold forward. So our fingertips are just resting on the ground if you can reach. If you can't reach, you can bend your legs so that your hands do touch the ground. And we're gonna ragdoll here. Next, we're gonna put our hands flat on the ground, and we're gonna put one foot back, and then the other foot back, and we're gonna be in a plank position here. Then we're gonna drop our knees, our chest, and our chin to the ground, and slide forward into our cobra pose. That one can be a little tricky. I find I always just flop onto the ground. I try to go gently, but it can be tricky sometimes. Next, we're gonna tuck our toes underneath us. We're gonna put our hands flat on the ground, and we're gonna push up into our downward dog. I really like the downward dog pose. It's always a nice pose to come back to, stretch out our back, to catch our breath. And when you're ready, we're gonna take our right foot up and forward in between our hands into this lunge. We're gonna turn our left toes out to the side. We're gonna push up into our warrior pose. I can't remember which number this one is. There are 3 warrior poses, but we're gonna be in this one. If you want to, you can stretch your warrior back. Look up at your fingertips. Or you can stay in your warrior like this. Great work, everyone. All right, and we're gonna step up to the front of our mat again. We're gonna do our sun salutations again, but this time we're gonna do the other side. So we're gonna do our left side. So we're gonna take a deep breath in. Reach our hands up to the sky. Say hello to the sun. And then we're gonna come down forward and just flop over our feet. Maybe our fingertips touch the ground. Maybe we need to bend our legs a little bit. That's okay. And when you're ready, you can bend your legs so your hands can go flat on the ground. And shoot your left leg back this time first. And then your right leg. And we're back into our plank pose again. We're just gonna hold this for a few moments. Then we're gonna drop our knees, our chest, and our chin, and slide forward into our cobra pose, where we can take a few breaths here. I always get out of breath when I plank. Relax your back, relax your legs. Well done, everybody. Then we're gonna tuck our toes underneath on the mat. Push up into our hands. We're gonna go into our downward dog. So push up into our hands. And we're in our downward dog pose. We can pedal it out if we want. Or we can stay still. Whatever feels right. And when you're ready, you can lift your left leg this time. Bring it forward in between your hands. So we're in a lunge. And when you're ready, when you feel like you have your balance, you've turned your right toes out a little bit, we're gonna push up into our warrior pose again. This time you're looking at my back. We can stretch our warrior pose, reach up above our head, look up, or we can stay still. And then we can go back to the top of our mat. We finished our sun salutations, or today our sun goodbyes. So we've said goodbye to the sun. Now the sun is setting at our campsite. So the first thing, and one of my favorite things about camping, is that you can see all of the stars, because you don't have the lights of the city. You can see the sky very clearly if it's a clear night. So we're gonna do a star pose. You're gonna put your legs out a little further than your hips. Your hands go out high above you, and we're gonna twinkle our fingers like this. And reach up high, lean back a little bit, and look at all the beautiful stars in our campsite. Good work, everybody. This is a good place to take a couple deep breaths. So we'll take a deep breath in and let it out through our mouth. We'll do 2 more. In and out. 1 more. In and out. Great job, everybody. We can come out of our star pose, shake it out if we need to. The other thing that I love to see when I go camping is the moon. So we're gonna do a crescent moon pose. We're gonna have our feet underneath our hips. We're gonna put our arms above our head like this, so our hands are touching. And we're just gonna lean to the side as much as it feels comfortable. This is our crescent moon pose. Nice work, Justin. Good job, Jacob and Jed. And we'll go back up to center and we're gonna lean to the other side. Good job, everybody. Nice moon pose. We can let that go. All right. Now that the sun has set, the moon is out, the stars are out, I know I'm feeling a little sleepy and I don't want to get bitten by too many bugs. So it's time to go back into our tent. So we're gonna go into our downward dog, our tent pose, as we climb back into our tent. We can pedal it out again if we want to, or we can just stay still. All right, we can come down onto our knees. Now we've climbed into our tent and we're ready to lie down and go to sleep. So everyone can lie down on your back. You can keep your knees bent if that's more comfortable for you, or you can let them out straight below you. Lay your arms at your side and take some deep breaths. Take a deep breath in and out. In and out. 2 more. In and out. Last one. In and out. Now you can bring your knees into your chest. Hold them there to help your lower back. And think about all the things we did today. We set up our campsite, we put up a tent, we lit a fire, we looked at the mountain and we saw the birds. We went to the beach, we went canoeing, we saw a sandcastle, we saw a frog. We said goodbye to the sun, we saw the stars and the moon, and now here we are, resting and ready to go to bed. You can rock your knees back and forth, give your back a little massage, or you can move your knees in a circle too. That can help give your back a little massage. And switch the direction. And hug them in tight one more time. And let them go. So we're lying on our back and we'll take one last deep breath together. And when we do yoga, when we're done, we always say one word all together, and that word is namaste. So we can say that all together, namaste. And when you're ready, you can roll to your side and help push yourself up. And that's it. That's our yoga class for the day. Thank you everyone for joining me.
Bye.
You did such a good job.
Bye everyone.
Thank you everybody for
Maddie.
coming.